we're back with Dan. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening in the film world this weekend. So, Dan,
look at him, so sophisticated.
He put on his sophisticated glasses. So now we're going to talk about the film world.
Today, we're going to talk about what is in theaters. This past weekend, I got to go see the movie The Great Gatsby. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Joel Edgerton, Tobey Maguire, Carey Mulligan. And last week, I kind of explained how I wanted to avoid everything about the movie because I didn't read the book in high school. I just wanted a fresh experience going into the movie. And I just wanted to absorb the movie as the movie itself rather than have the backdrop of the book to kind of guide my way through that movie.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went into this movie completely blind. I did know one thing, that the director was Baz Luhrmann. He's an Australian director. He's known for Australia, Moulin Rouge, Strictly Ballroom, Romeo and Juliet. He's a very visual, stylized director. So he has lots of great colors. Everything he does looks like a music video and feels like a music video, because I think that's where his background is. And that's what I knew going into this. I also knew that JayZ had something to do with the soundtrack of this movie.
Really?
So it had a lot of like, this is a
different.
curious movie to go in and see. And that's why I tried to avoid any story to kind of put all these weird elements together. It's a classic novel with a JayZ soundtrack, and and we also have
Almost doesn't sound like it mixes.
an
but-
extremely visual film director. And I went in there saying, okay, this is going to be experience. It might be too long. We'll see what happens. And I absolutely loved this movie. This movie was fantastic. So far, this is probably my favorite movie of the year, just because it was so
Yeah,
visual, so interesting, so engaging. It's about decadence. And if you know the story of The Great Gatsby, you know better than I do. If you've read it, you know better than I do. So I tip my hat to that.
It's a pretty good lifestyle, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's all about decadence. It's all about love, and it's all about love lost, and it's all about how you be. It's all about like trying to prove yourself because you have low self-esteem, and the only way to do it is through money and fortune. That's the story of this movie. And the beautiful thing is Baz Luhrmann was able to capture that, amp it up to a level of 10 and really show a lot of visuals and make it work. And the music was just fantastic for the era. It works. You see hip hop, you hear hip hop, and you see flappers. It works together really, really well. So and you hear like jazz music intertwined with the hip hop. So it's like it really, really works well. So I'm going to highly recommend go check out The Great Gatsby. If you love the story, if you like the story, go see that movie. Highly, highly recommend it. And I know a lot of critics out there are panning it or not liking it. They're saying it's a lot of style and not enough substance. I thought it was fantastic because I knew what I was getting into, even though I had no idea what I was getting into.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that's that. I'm gonna have to say, Great Gatsby, go see it.
Before we get to Star Trek, you want to see the trailer?
Yeah, let's take a peek at a clip from the Star Trek.
Let's go. You saw it last night. Here's Star Trek.
I can't hold this position. Spock, I gotta pull you back up.
Negative. This is our only chance to save this species.
If this volcano erupts, the planet dies. Pull him back up. Now!
I am, surprisingly, alive. Stand by.
Any good Trekkie would love that. How was it?
It was a really fun action movie. It was probably, to tell you the truth, J.J. Abrams knows what he's doing. He's a big nerd, and he knows what he's doing when he's making these movies. He panders to the audience perfectly, or caters to the audience perfectly. So everybody that is a Trekkie that loves Star Trek, they feel satisfied. There are a couple of characters that they're like, oh, well, I think they changed this or changed that, or they didn't really develop that. It's like, okay, you're a super nerd. Don't worry about it. It's just a movie. But the other thing is, this movie is just really, really fun. It gives you all the elements. It gives you all the pop culture references throughout it. You will see, and if you know anything about Star Trek, or if you hear even the most important pop culture references or if you know those of Star Trek, you will see those in this movie.
Our Trekkie's on the couch right here.
Are you a big Trekkie fan?
You know, I only watched Star Trek because my mom and dad were big fans. My dad has a collection of all the Star Trek toys.
Gotcha.
So that I am just a fan by connection to family. So
Absolutely.
I only know like this.
That is in the movie. That
Oh,
is in
they
the
do
All
movie.
right,
use
so
that.
big
See?
thumbs up
See?
for.
See, you
We got
got
about
that
30
one reference.
seconds left.
All
Big
right,
thumbs
so
up.
I'm gonna have to say Benedict Cumberbatch. You've known him as Sherlock, who was in this, who was in the
Yeah.
Sherlock BBC series. He's fantastic in this movie as the villain. Not gonna give away who it is. You can figure it out by just going and see the
Dun,
movie.
dun, dun.
Oh,
It is awesome. Go see this movie as well.